All right, guys. Well, welcome to this morning's, or I should say this afternoon's sales call here. My name is Rob Puckett. I'm direct to Symmetry, of course, always direct to the one and only Marshall Whalen. Grateful to be so. And just want to say thank you to Brandon, Brian, and Casey for allowing us to share on today's call. And I have the privilege of having a really close friend of mine, great business partner, Monique Al-Rawi, on the line to share with everybody. Monique in her time here has done some pretty awesome stuff. I know in times past, she got the Renali Award winner. She got that award for being the top female. She's also gotten the Golden Pen Award, which is something to be chased for sure, for writing good, solid business that's going on the books. And then also she got the award for top app count. I think 642 applications, I think, in 1 year. Just coming out of October, check this out, 66 applications for just under 31,000 in annual premium volume. So doing some awesome stuff. And I know that stuff goes on the books because she likes those deposits for sure. But we're going to share today about how to lock in your client by creating value. And one of the things that, as I've watched Monique over the years, the thing that she does really well is she develops trust amongst her clients, and they really they like her and they trust her. And I wanted to talk to Monique about that. Just getting started here, Mo. Tell us how big of a part does that play in your success and in what you're able to do on a month-to-month basis?
Yes, so happy to answer that. I just obviously, I'm Monique Al-Rawi, and I am direct to Rob Puckett, and happy to be on Puckett's team. Longtime friend. We have fun, but we get it done, and super grateful to be a part of Symmetry and the system that they provide, and as well as being a part of the Whalen Master Agency, and being able to have really benefited from all the training from Marshall, Rob Puckett, John Ziller, Miranda Martin, Carl Ryan, Dan Miller, Dave Lappin. So that has all really greatly attributed to my success. So again, very thankful. Thanks for having me on. Can you ask that question again, please?
Yes, trust, likability, all that stuff put together, which I think is a big part of your success. Talk to me about how you feel. How big a part is that for you?
Yeah. So good question. Really for me, always trying to be very personable and, transparent, just being real, right? Always looking for ways to, find commonality. Could be that, the client drives the same make and model car I do, right? Just again, looking for ways to create that commonality, which allows them to, relate to me, right? And if they can begin to, relate and like and trust me, then it's really the beginning of a relationship that continues to build on that trust. And their wall kind of, comes down and they feel comfortable, right? And so once that happens, then they're able to entrust me with their needs and the needs of their family and their loved ones. And it just really positions me to lead with ease and always maintaining the right posture. And they will follow. And, guys, especially new agents, the system provides, the foundation, with our core value, or our core values, plural. Relationships matter, right? And people, the clients come first, their needs and what's in their best interest, not how much commissions, we're gonna make. It's doing the right thing, and the money will come. So yeah, hope that answers the question there.
Absolutely, right? Because in when we think about locking in the client, right? Who do they want to lock in with? Do they want to lock in with somebody that just kind of flies in, says, "Oh, here we go," or do they want to lock in with somebody that creates that relationship? And I think that's when we look at our core values, and you think through that, right? On the surface, you might go, relationships, well, okay, yeah, sure, of course they do, but they really matter.
Yeah,
when you create a rock solid relationship, people don't want to leave that. Like when they think about what they need for their family, they're going to go, I'm calling Monique, or I'm calling so-and-so, I'm calling this person or that person, because they know they can depend on you, right? And that dependence starts with, preparation, right? So when we look at being prepared and we consider value and what that really means, right? It means that we start with preparation. And one of the things when I look at you and your, not only your numbers, but how good they are, like your issue rate and how things, number one, get issued, but on the back end, they stay on the books, right? I firmly believe that is because your preparation is solid all the way around. So talk to me about that. How do you do that? Like, what are the steps that you go through from the start and kind of into the whole process? What does preparation mean to you, and how does that play out?
Right. So that's a great question that I actually get asked often. And my answer is always the same. I really, believe in when it comes to preparing, that is always going to create value. So I say this all the time, the magic starts on the phone, right? It's starting with that initial appointment and booking that appointment. I always dig deep by getting detailed information from, the type of medications, how long have they been on the medications, what is the medication for, how often is that medication filled, what are the health conditions, when was the diagnosis, was there treatment, when was, your last treatment, and inhalers, what inhaler, how many times is that getting filled, asking about kids and grandkids, all of that matters, right? And gives me a comprehensive understanding so that I best know how to prepare. And I do it with a soft approach. It's not like there's some sort of phenomenal thing that I'm saying, something, special. It's really about making them feel as though, they're not being interrogated, the word interrogated. Yeah. It's a little bit of a tongue twister for me this morning. But just, kind of soft approach, putting them at ease, making them feel that it's just kind of a conversation. And, sometimes occasionally I may get a little bit of pushback, and that's okay. I don't force my way to get the information. I'll generally acknowledge their feelings, right? And, give a brief explanation of why I'm asking. And then I just really move, right back to the script, and then they're okay from that point, right? It's something I've found just with dealing with agents sometimes is they feel kind of, mostly new agents feel afraid to kind of dig deep on that initial, phone call for fear of getting that pushback or just losing the appointment. But it's just simply not true. I've always dug deep on appointment setting, and it's always worked for me, right? And again, it's back to the, soft approach, tonality, voice inflection, being personable, being a friend, just making a friend, how you frame it, and just putting them at ease. And again, I come back to the system, with Symmetry, they've provided the system to follow for, everyone to have the same success by providing phone scripts, virtual scripts when you're meeting with the clients, rebuttals, ongoing online training 24/7, right? Support from your upline, and, prepping with virtual mentor, using the agent guides, doing risk assessments, all the tools, resources, and support is at your fingertips, right? To empower you to create value with your clients. So it's all there.
Right. And people sense that, like when you go in and you're not flying by the seat of your pants, right? They know that
right.
you've spent the time, to be prepared. That is what creates what? Trust, right? So in other words, they start to figure out that, okay, this person really has my best interest at heart, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not people, as we've heard the old adage, right? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And you show that you care by being prepared and knowing where you're going to go with something, as opposed to, in my opinion, not being prepared going in and going, oh, by the way, okay, let me figure this out, as you sit there and, no. Let's have
Right.
it locked in, right? And in loaded form.
No doubt. And, the more prepared you can be, right? I mean, think about, how that adds credibility when you're meeting with that client, because you've taken the time to process and understand, and that helps your posture. That, conveys confidence, right? And people follow, right? Confidence and strength, right? And like Ziller always said, if you say it wrong, say it strong. I mean, they're not going to necessarily know. So I think for me, just, being fair to myself and the client, I want to get as much information as I can, be as prepared as I can, get it right on the front end and not have to pivot. Although, I mean, you do have to pivot sometimes, but it's better to, have everything, ready to go.
Absolutely. So when I think about, 642 apps, and I think about, this last month, 66 apps, obviously there's some thoughts behind that. When we consider value, right, you're writing a lot of apps, right? Which means, and you're writing a lot of apps in the house. I mean, I've seen you, as we put it on our strings, right? I see your apps. You'll come out some houses, you've got 8 apps in there. I mean, what's going on? I mean, how are you, like, writing their dogs, or how
Yeah, I started offering pet insurance, right?
Right, I know. Hey, Brandon, that's what we need. We need some pet insurance. Everybody's asking about it, by the way. So, no, I'm just kidding. But talk to us about that. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I really like to do my best to provide a full service approach, which is meeting as many needs as I, am able to within the client, uncovering additional needs. I mean, initially, we're meeting for mortgage protection insurance, but can uncover more needs, right? And some of that, like I said, I do on the phone when booking the appointment. And the more secure, a family, can feel, knowing that not only is their mortgage taken care of, but their loved ones, are protected as well, right? And I do it by bundling packages that include multiple applications, kids, accidental, et cetera, but then I present it with, option 1, everything included, one total price. And then option 2, everything included, one total price, right? So I keep it simple, like super simple. Like I've got to keep things like elementary, right? So it's just really bundling it, giving them a couple of options, and then going through each line item in the package and explaining, what, the feature and the benefit, and that creates the value, but I'm keeping it simple.
I mean, simple is important, right? As I say, a confused mind doesn't buy, right? So, So the easier we can keep it, the better off we are. And so, but yeah, I mean, when you consider, right, a lot of times we go in, we kind of have one track mind, and that's great. We're invited there for one reason and one reason only. It's if the husband doesn't come home, that the house is paid off, right? Or, that's on a mortgage protection lead. Maybe it's a life lead that we're getting, right? So, I mean, we're, trying to uncover all the stones to make sure that really, we want to wrap a wall of protection around them, right? We want to make sure that no matter what happens, we can't bring a loved one back, but we can bring financial security to them in that it's taken care of, right? And that's when we consider value, it's a big part of it. The last thing we want is somebody passing away and then they look at it and go, oh my goodness, I wished I'd have done this, or why did this person not say this to me? This is what they do, right? And so just understand, as an agent going in, and working with a client, right? It's our responsibility to go there and make sure that we prepare correctly, right? As they say, proper planning prevents poor performance, right? So having that.
When you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
That's right. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's And that's what it's all about all the way around. And so, in wrapping this up, guys, it's all about, like we said, it's about trust and relationships. It's about preparing, right? And all of that wraps into value and doing the very best that we can for our clients.
Right.
Anything
I
you'd like
mean,
to,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
anything you'd like to say in wrapping
Oh
up?
yeah, I mean, just some key takeaways here is, trust, and that creates that, that relationship, and that can become a long-term relationship, right? For helping them with future needs. In preparation, utilizing the tools and resources available through Symmetry. And you already kind of really touched on it, being, thorough in, finding out what their needs are and their desires, and, getting information up front, and then just putting together solutions, which, like you said, it just kind of is a wall of protection, right, for them and their loved ones. And they're more apt to, to continue to keep their policies and do business with you in the future.
Absolutely.
So stickiness.
There you go. Monique, thank you so much for sharing. I know that there's a lot of people, if they grab hold of your bundling concept and grab that, they'll write a lot of apps too. So awesome job. Great month of October. Appreciate every one of you plugging in. I hope that we gave you a little bit to hang your hat on. Again, Brandon, Brian, and Casey, thank you for allowing us to share. It's always a privilege. And with that, we're going to sign off. Y'all have a great week. Let's go make a difference. And we'll see you guys on the next call. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks, y'all. Have a good day.